All right. Let me just quiet this down. Okay. 13, 10, 11. I think 11's right. Okay. Hello. 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 Bitcoin actually touched an all-time high, and then it hit it and then came down. I think there's just a lot of people that at all-time highs they put sell order in. It's like the new stupid person life hack. They just put a sell order at the high and then just try to catch the volatility. They're probably doing it with leverage, and those kind of people will make like $40. I don't think $40 is going to materially or demonstrably change anybody's life. It's just very short-term thinking, but whatever. That's trading. Hello, 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 hello. Bonjour. Yeah. Let's see. What was the news? Oh, I'm meeting with some of the people from the Twin team tomorrow, right after tomorrow's show that Brandon and I do. So we'll be meeting with them. I'll hopefully have some more details. Maybe I can share them. Maybe I can only share them with digital investors. Digital, either investors or private clients. Hey, kitty. What are you doing? See if we can do a kitty. Oh, I got you. I got you. Oh, I got you. Here, let's see. Hold on. Yeah. Want to say hi? Want to say hi? It's hard to get them to. Oh. Pretty big for a 17-week-old, huh? Do I get a kiss? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Yeah, he's gonna be effing massive. All right. Let's see. If you guys have questions, remember, just write the word question. He's gonna be in the background tearing stuff up. I assure you of that. Hello. Howard in the house. Hello, hello. Uday, what up? He's being a nutbag today. I got him a cool tree. I'll show you. Whoa, what are you doing? I got him a badass tree. He'll outgrow it soon, but he likes it. It kind of looks like furniture, so I just leave it. People are like, what is that? I'm like, it's furniture. They're like, it doesn't look like furniture. I'm like, well, you look like furniture. All right. Let's see. One of the Binance executives being held in Nigeria is a family friend. Yeesh. That sucks. I like Binance. The whole world shit on Binance because, CZ is a creep, but he's not a thief. That's the whole thing. Brian Armstrong is a creep, and he's a rat. And in many cases, he thinks he's a regulator, but he's the best bad exchange operator we know. Let's see. How do you don't keep a cat like that from destroying furniture, Patsy. You just let him do it and you just assume it's going to happen. It's just part of the burn rate of the house. I know that Chloe the serval's awesome, but that one, Chloe barks a lot. Luckily, he's not barking yet, but he does do his mouth. He'll go, and I'm like, oh God. When he gets older, that's going to be a bark. Yeah, he's getting big. Okay. As far as I know, it's gone. He has sometimes he sneezes in the morning, but they're doing stucco work. I think it could be that because I sneeze in the morning every now and then. Okay. What country is your cat from? What country? Los Angeles. Okay, question. Thoughts on BTC layer 2s? Joseph, they're not that interesting. You can have layer 2s that run across Bitcoin rails, but they've already kind of solved that. There's tons of layer 2s which run, which make things, it's kind of like more efficient, less efficient. I guess here's the way I look at layer twos for first of all, layer twos for Bitcoin are not that interesting to me at all. I don't think the world's going to go, we need to do all of our smart contract activity on Bitcoin. It doesn't make any sense. There's no point. That's not what it was designed for. And it was designed for a peer-to-peer payment system that's incredibly secure, where you can do business with untrusted entities on the other side of the trade, right? I don't know let's think about Ethereum for a second. You think, okay, cool, Ethereum, awesome. Yeah, except that it's a piece of shit and it's slow and it's expensive. You say, okay, cool. Well, there's all these layer twos that make Ethereum better. Well, if I have to use a layer two and it's not a seamless experience, I would understand all of this excitement around layer twos if I went to do an Ethereum transaction and when I click send, it goes and uses a layer two, it's the plumbing, and then it comes back and resolves on Ethereum, and I don't know the difference as a user. But right now, I have to use another protocol. I have to go use another wallet. I have to go use another protocol with another network inside the wallet. So what the fuck difference does it make to me whether I'm using a layer two or Cardano, which is fast, clean, elegant, or Algorand, fast, clean, elegant, Cosmos, fast, clean, elegant? So all of this Ethereum, and I know I'm getting off on Ethereum thing, but this whole idea that, oh, well, layer twos will solve Ethereum. No, it won't. If I have to go to another layer, it's the same thing as going to a completely different protocol. So what's the fucking difference? You haven't saved me anything. You haven't saved me money, and you haven't saved me any fucking time. So that really irks me. And this kind of prideful, self-important, we're going to just force everything onto layer twos with optimistic rollups and ZK. Now, shut up. Those guys are so flippin' arrogant. It grinds my gears. And that's my problem with all layer twos. If I need a layer two, why would I have the layer one in my portfolio? Now, remember, crypto is more about money right now, investment money, than it is about utility. But a lot of these layer ones that have been building, Cardano, to an extent, Polkadot, Algorand, Cosmos, go down the list. They're not, at least outwardly, super focused on the investment aspect of the token. They're trying to build use utility, wide scale adoption, and whatever their version of the 5 T's is. They want to make the world function with more efficacy. All right. The team at Ethereum has no desire for that. Fucking zero. They've already given up the fight. They've already given up. We'll just do it all on layer twos. No. And so I guess in my mind, I grapple with, would people rather just push over and run their transactions on an Ethereum layer two? Or would you just rather go to another protocol that's lean and elegant? And it's that transition. It's that in-wallet transition that's going to be the key. When we finally get a multi-asset, multi-protocol wallet, which this seems like the simplest shit on the planet. Why isn't there one wallet, where I can hold Bitcoin and Ethereum, Optimism assets, Matic assets, Cardano assets, Algorand, I don't even know if they have Algorand assets, but Cosmos, tons. Why isn't there one place? Why on earth do you need 17 different fucking wallets? It's so stupid. And everybody's like, what's the next big app? I don't know. How about you build one app that actually fucking works? And then, so sometimes I think that these guys, these, and I mean guys colloquially, I mean guys, women, people that are multiple, people that, whatever your pronouns are, why doesn't this cohort of designers get their head out of their computer for a second and realize that the people that actually use this shit would like a nice, seamless experience? And when they were, okay, and then why this is kind of apropos is because I was hearing about the Sentience wallet, and I said, cool, is it multi-asset? And they're like, what? Is it multi-asset, multi-protocol? Oh, well, it's like MetaMask. Okay, well, I have MetaMask. Yeah, but it's like that, but better. Why is it better? Well, because AI. Oh, bullshit. Because AI, you sound like Render. Listen, if tooth decay became a big problem, Render would be the new Render fighting tooth decay and AI. Like, come on, man. Johnny come lately asked. So, we still haven't seen, help me here. We haven't seen one app that actually makes the world a better place. The only asset that even comes close, this is where we'll bring this back around, Joseph, is Bitcoin. It's the only asset that's made any difference, really, if we're being honest, any difference to humanity is Bitcoin. Hey, why? Why is that? Doesn't make sense. It's for rich people. No, it's not. So when you started seeing collapses in economic systems, socioeconomic systems like Turkey, Venezuela, things like that, we remember the massive hyperinflation of Venezuela. There were people, because you had this kind of public electricity, you basically socialize electricity costs and all this kind of stuff, which basically everybody has electricity. Great, for free. Yeah. Basic good, basic service, like air. Everybody gets air. Everybody gets electricity. People were buying old, out-of-date crypto miners, Bitcoin miners. They were plugging them in. They were figuring out how, right? The impoverished. And there were families like moms with like 3 kids that got to eat for the last 5 years because they were mining Bitcoin off the free electricity. Because even an inefficient Bitcoin miner with free electricity plugged into a mining consortium can earn some yield. It was enough to feed families. That's an actual case. That happened. And I can't think of too many other technologies that may have actually saved, at least in crypto, that have actually made a material difference in people's lives. I can't think of one. And for all the hoopla, song and dance and everything, Charles Hoskinson and all, I like Charles, he's awesome. But he hasn't made life better for anyone. And Gavin Wood hasn't made life better for anyone. Matter of fact, maybe worse. If you use Solidity to program, you've been stuck in that quagmire. And Vitalik Buterin hasn't made life better for anyone except a bunch of people that were already rich. None of these companies and none of these talking heads have made life better for anyone in any way. Not even a little bit, other than Bitcoin. And again, that's a tiny use case, but it's a legit one. Nothing. Your pizza experience is not better. Oh, I order a pizza now and the pepperonis are delicious because crypto. Bullshit. The only answer, because crypto, is because it put money in my pocket. So remember, you got to have 2 buckets in your brain, two sections of your brain. One is the investment side, and one is the actual use utility and wide scale adoption side. And if those 2 buckets exist, there is only Bitcoin in both of those buckets. None of the other assets have done a single fucking thing for humanity. They made a lot of us rich, so we just got to be honest with ourselves. In layer 2s on Bitcoin, who cares? That's not what Bitcoin was designed for. So I just think it's a bunch of who cares. I think they got to square a multi-network app. And I don't know why. This just seems impossible. Smartest minds in the world. We're going to go and fucking live on Mars, but we can't have a multi-asset, multi-protocol wallet. Can't be done. It's impossible. Why? You have EVMs. You guys say you can convert assets back in. It's impossible. The technology doesn't exist. We don't have such things. Quit talking crazy. Go worship your sun god. All right. With all the coin values increasing, how do stable coins keep pace? Well, stable coins, Chris, you need to expand on that question, because there's some questions in there. If people are buying in, okay, so one way you could look at it is as a bunch of demand increases, people are buying into crypto. One way they would buy in is by going to an exchange, sending money to the exchange, And either they would hold it in a stable coin, or they would go, many of those exchanges might have gateways directly from their currency into the crypto asset. But mostly you have to buy stablecoin. So as the demand for stablecoin increases, the stablecoin, it's kind of like a government treasury function. They'll print up more stablecoin as there are more dollars. Basically, the way stablecoins work, I'm sure you guys all know this, but a stablecoin, think of a stablecoin as a management facility, and they're usually structured as a trust. And currency units come into the trust. The trust then purchases, it does two things. For every dollar that comes in, it spits out a $1 equivalent notional value stable dollar. And then you have the actual dollar that's still in that trust, and that goes into kind of a panoply of assets. It would go into short-term treasuries, any kind of on the bill side, because you have bills, notes, and bonds. As you go out on the risk curve, it would be on the bills side. Short-term things they can roll over. It might sit in the money market. But what they will do is they'll try to make a little bit of a little juice on that, a little vig on that. They need money to run the trust. And that's all they do. Now, sometimes you have a situation like Tether where they just print up money out of thin air. There's not really much accounting. But because they did this way back in the day, and this is counterfeiting, basically, because they did it back in the day and they were taking their proceeds and they were buying Bitcoin and Ethereum and some other assets, they've made so much return on their investment that they can bring those assets back, sell them back into stablecoin, and they actually have the amount of money that they claim to have that they never had, which is a weird reverse Ponzi scheme thing. So whatever. But the idea is that as there's more demand and more currency units hit exchanges, those exchanges, they would be converted into stable coins. But it is the horse leading the carrot, right? It is kind of reversed. It's a weird, and technically it shouldn't keep pace, because if I take $100,000 and put it on Coinbase or $2, I can't do it right now because they froze my account, pending a security review. It turns out, by the way, if you threaten to do a formal complaint at Coinbase to their customer support, you too will get a security review to verify that it's actually you making transactions. So, don't wage a formal complaint on Coinbase. Don't worry. The second my assets are free and clear, I'm taking everything off Coinbase. And I'm urging my clients to do the same. We're going to take about $100 million off of Coinbase in the next 24 hours. And although they won't feel it because they don't give a shit, at some point, maybe somebody will be like, hey, why do you think all those dudes left Wednesday? Anyway, so ideally for every dollar of demand, a stable coin would be issued against it, but it just doesn't work that way. It's right now, it's kind of a sloppy process. So there's a lot of questions in that question, but that's good. It's good to kind of talk your way around that. How big will Loki get? Loki will get to be about 40 to 45 pounds. And big. Remember, the servals are the smallest of the big cat family. Smallest in girth, but I think that they're not the smallest, because I think they weigh about the same as some of the other big cats. 45 pounds. Well, 45 pounds is not big compared to like a 400-pound, lion or tiger, but 45 pounds is a lot bigger than your average, 10-pound house cat. You might say. All right. A little late. Hey, better late than never, right? Yeah, I do keep him well fed. I keep him eating all the time. He eats all the time. He eats all raw food, and he eats lots of it all the time. Okay. Built an addition to the house as a game room. Oh, that's cool. That's a good idea, Howard. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't kind of sorted all that out yet. The cat has a lot of space to go and play. So I'm just going to let him go and play. And whatever he tears up, I'm just going to assume that was just part of the cost, the carrying cost of having a cool cat. He's got a great personality, though. So I'm trying, and Voodoo, the other one, has a great personality. So together they play a lot. I just got to make sure they play safe. Yeah, one wallet to rule them all. It's very frustrating. Is the ETH update coming tomorrow with lower fees? No, it has no intention of lowering fees. That's the problem. That's the real frustration. And they said it at ETH Denver. They were very vocal. We are not trying. We have no desire to lower it. Man, it grinds my gears every time I even go over it. But they basically said, if you think that what we're doing is going to lower the fees, no, it's not. What a piece of shit. This whole community, this whole Ethereum community is eating their own, they're just smoking their own drugs. But yeah, they have zero, they do not care about the fees. As far as they're concerned, hey, it supports the mining effort. They're okay with it. They're okay with saying, F you, you should pay $30 or $40 or $15 or $18 per transaction. Well, if I'm at $20 a transaction, that's no better than a bank. So why? Oh, because smart contracts. Bullshit. It's just not enough, man. Ethereum, listen, Ethereum is a fail. Ethereum is a failed bit. It's just that people won't switch. I think that if we got like Barry said, a one wallet to rule them all, and again, I don't know why all the super geniuses out there don't get this. Like honestly, think about it. What the fuck are you working on that is more important than this? Oh, we want to empower the African farmer to shut the fuck up. What you need to do is give me a fucking wallet where I can put all my assets in it instead of having to be held hostage by shitty exchanges and douchebags like Brian Armstrong that snitch you out to the IRS and the Treasury. You know that in the beginning days of Coinbase, they went to the IRS and offered up all the client information. They tried to sell it to the Treasury. That's right. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Coinbase actively pursued the US government as a vendor for their private data. So why don't I have a wallet that has the same functionality as these douchebag exchanges? You want to get away from the douchebags? Shouldn't I just have a wallet that has that functionality? Why is this so mind-blowing? I don't know, man. God. It's very frustrating. Am I the only one that gets mad about this? Ugh. Okay. What affects CPI on crypto? Not much. To be honest, I mean, there's not enough people from the traditional kind of financial system yet that are participating. Now, I do believe that correlation will develop, because if you get to a future, let's say a year from now, where lots of people have Bitcoin in their IRA, in their 401k, and all this kind of stuff, all their retirement stuff. If you had a lot of money in there, and CPI and these other extremely cooked government numbers affected the mass psychology of Joe Sixpack, and Joe Sixpack behaved based on those scary news tidbits of bullshit mostly, then you would imagine, okay, there's kind of two sides. One, you would say, the macro picture is bad because inflation. If there's inflation, then the Fed would raise rates or keep them stable. Now that's assuming that you got to remember, what would dummies do? Dummies don't realize that interest rate hikes caused by when the Fed raises and lowers rates, it does nothing to the economy. All it does is put a strain on small banks, but it does nothing to the economy, like zero effect. And they've teased this out over many years. Zero effect. But dummies think that is a kind of a weird form of tightening or easing. And so what would dummies do? Joe Sixpack's like, and if Joe Sixpack goes, maybe he buys Bitcoin because he thinks the world is going into the crapper. Or maybe he just sells everything because he wants to go to cash. If he does the sell everything, if Bitcoin is in a bunch of index funds, remember, every dollar that goes into an index fund gets split out in percentage based into a bunch of different directions, and it buys assets. It buys every dollar that goes in, buys all those assets. Buying. That's the passive indexation effect that Mike Green talks about at length. But at some point, if the buying stops, and let's say there was a real bad CPI print, everybody panicked, oh shit, I gotta get my money out. And there's no more buyers of last resort, then basically those funds, they're so big, Vanguard and all that, they become the seller of first and last resort. And if you're the only buyer in any market and you become a seller, who's buying? Right? Think about that. This is some easy game theory. If you're the only buyer in a market, it's just you, and you become a seller, who's buying your bag? Nothing. You have gap down markets and you have circuit breakers and all this other stuff. So basically right now, not much, but in the future, depending on how stupid the aggregate investor is, probably more. And I would say that will rise. That too is a good kind of question, Joseph. There was a lot of questions in that question. Okay, Edward, what's your thought process on determining a sell price? For example, GRFT. Well, I'm not going to use GRFT because I don't even know what GRFT is. Do you mean graph token? I don't know. I don't know what you mean, buddy, but let's call it GRFT. GRFT is our new favorite token. You've mentioned it's a trade. No. I think you're talking about graph. And I'm not going to get into specifics like that. That's more of a digital investor question. But when I look at something as a trade, based on your question, you have mentioned it was a trade. So is it still a 10X, or how do you decide? Well, if something's a trade, it's because I don't really think it can hit a 10X. I just no longer believe in that fundamental story. And I mean, if we look at, I'll tell you what, let me just jump over and put the market screen up, and we can kind of address that question in very vague terms. So we're looking at if you meant graph token. If not, we'll use graph token as an example. We started really leaning into graph token, let's say, vaguely speaking in loose terms, under 10 cents. Let's say we got it at 10 cents. I got 10 cents. I got graph token at 10 cents. If I think it's an investment, that's because I do the 5 T's. And by the way, what are the 5 T's? Everyone, Bueller. What are the 5 T's? I'm going to put them up. I'm going to put them up here. We will all look at them. You look at the team, you look at the timing, you look at the technology, you look at the tokenomics, who owns what, when, where, lockups, unlocks, all this. And then you look at the token and you ask yourself, why does the token exist in the first place? Why token? That's the only thing Michael Turpin ever taught me that really resonated. Typically, we don't agree on much, but on this thing we do. Why token? Why token? There's a bunch of assets, and if you ask that, there's no good answer. So if the answer to why token is to get early investors and founders rich, that's not an answer. Okay, and that's most tokens. Most tokens, if you say why token, there's no good answer. You have to kind of slap together some very sloppy ass paper mache answer that you pretty much know is bogus. So once you've done this, you ask yourself, is this an asset that can achieve use, utility, and wide scale adoption? Well, at some point you're going to start thinking, okay, based on all the research that I've done, you should have read the white paper, or at least put the white paper in Claude 3 or GPT-4 and question the document, learn about the document, learn about what the company is endeavoring to achieve. You're gonna come up with an answer, your gut feeling, based on your training and experience, that says this is either a trade or it's an investment. If it's a trade, it's an asset that You're probably going to hold a year or less. You'd be satisfied with a double or a triple. Okay, a double or a triple, great. And if it keeps going, good, you're on house money. And so on those kinds of things, trades to me typically says it's a year or less. If I can get a 2 or a 3x, I'm probably going to hit the exit, and I'm just going to get back my original investment. And then I'm going to let it run a little bit and just see what happens. And then, every time it doubles, I'm just going to take, 10, 20, 50% off the table. The cool thing about the whole idea behind 10x take 20, 2x take 10 is that you're never out of the position. It can go as high as, it can go to the clouds and back. It can go to the moon. It can go past the moon. You're still in the position. You're still benefiting indefinitely because math. If you always take 10% of something, you'll never have zero of it. You guys understand this, right? There's never a zero moment. If you're taking 10% and 10% and 10%, there's never a zero moment. You're always in the trade, and which is great. And you're always, adding to your portfolio. So to reduce that question, if you have an asset that you believe is a trade, you don't think it's got 10x left in it. Doesn't mean it won't, but then I would say after a 2 or a 3x, get your money off the table. Perfect example. If we're looking, let's go to crap token. Okay. Coquito governance token, which is bullshit because you're not governing anything, and neither are they. But I'm not gonna bag on the token. There was some very radical price action the other day. Answer if you will in the comments. Do you think that this is organic or is it inorganic? All right, I gotta make it easier. Is it legit or bullshit? Yeah, what say you? What say you, chat humans? Organic or bullshit? I don't want to color your decision making at all. I don't want to influence what you might be thinking. Oh, you guys, good. Yep. Now, I will ask another question. When you see behavior like this, first of all, did anybody take any profit against this? Was anybody in the position and they took profit against this? I'll tell you publicly, I absolutely did. I took 1/3 of my position, all of it, one trade gone. See you later, bye. I took 1/3. Why? Well, bullshit. It's clearly bullshit. There is no use, utility, or adoption. You do the 5 T's, you end up with a number that's less than 0. So this is also another lesson in that garbage assets can still do good. In a bull market, things just move for a variety of reasons. One, it can accidentally move. Someone mistakes it for another asset. In a situation like this is what happened. Illiquid assets on illiquid exchanges traded by sketchy and often dubious individuals. This was a manufactured pump. My guess is it was a manufactured pump in order to get other bots to jump in and start buying up the asset. And you have some brainiacs that think that they've unlocked the code. They've got it figured out. Trust me, we can do this with that. No, we did not. Andy, we did not, because it's a bullshit asset. It doesn't need to exist. It does not satisfy any of the 5 T's, unfortunately. Now, it used to before they did their 4th or 5th complete company pivot. We were seed investors in this project when we thought that Ben Gortzel was going to be more responsible. Well, more a part of the project. It's not. The fruit, unfortunately, the fruit does fall far from the tree in this case. It's just a shitty project run by idiots. So And they're banking idiots. They're HSBC idiots. They knew absolutely fucking dick about crypto, which is very frustrating. Anyway, so it pumped because, well, who would be pumping it? No, not the team. The good news is the Cogito team's not smart enough to engineer this. They do not have the intellectual capacity, the cognitive, the cognitive huevos to get this done. No, this was others that think they've figured out the code. We figured it out. You haven't figured out shit. So they try to pump it so that bots get excited about it. I mean, SingularityNet got pumped similarly. It's just got a much wider grasp. It's a bunch more exchange exposure. Trying to pump a nascent asset on Binance dumb chain is about the dumbest goddamn thing you can do. It's so stupid. So there's gonna be a couple more pumps in this. They're not done. They're like, yeah, we just engineered a 5x. Well, look at it. I mean, look at the price. 3 cents, and not quite 5x, but a 4 and change, because it got up to 13.9, almost 14 cents from 3.5, 3 cents, 3.5 to 14. That's 400 and change percent. It's not bad. It's bullshit, but it's not bad. Look at the volume. Look at the average daily volume: 86,000, 91,000, 54,000, 48,000. Here, let's back out a little bit longer. Let's just make this a little bit more obvious. Look at the volume. 90, 20, 20, 20. What do you see a lot of? 20, 30, 40, 20, 20, 10. And now we have a volume of 4.8 million. Does that make any sense? No. What happened is some people were fleeced into involving themselves in what kind of behavior would be probably in any other market illegal as fuck. But here it's crypto, and crypto, the rules are not so. So when you see the Gary Genslers and Elizabeth Warrens of the world getting pissed off, there's reasons to be pissed off. There's a lot of bullshit that goes down in crypto. There's a lot of bullshit that goes down in every market. But here, it's beyond obvious. It's like blindingly obvious. All right? So it pumps up, you sell, you wait. If they pump it again, I'll sell more. If they pump it again, I'll sell more. I will sell every damn token I own because this isn't even a trade. This is I got stuck in a shitty company and I'm just doing my best to get out. Good news is that when you get a day where people pump it, it's like a pump and dump or whatever, and they're just trying to get the value up, and they're trying to create fake value and get the bots to jump in and buy it, and then all whatever they're trying to do. If you're early, you get an exit. There you go. Okay. But a question is, on what exchange did you put it? Oh no, I just it's in my MetaMask wallet on the Binance network, on the Binance protocol, and then I just swapped out of it in PancakeSwap, pancake.finance. Yep. So it's just like the Uniswap, like Uniswap, but for Binance assets. That was it. I was out. And if it pumps again, I'm out. Savvy traders pumping a token, stepping on the next. Yeah. This is exactly right. It's a bunch of people taking advantage of people that don't know any better. And listen, there's so many new people coming into crypto right now. You're going to see a lot of this. You're going to see a lot of really, really bad, really like stomach curling, shitty behavior. And those people will rest. I go, well, we made our money. Yeah, you did. You made your money. Great. This is one of the reasons why this kind of behavior is why I don't invest in certain projects when the people are shitty. I don't care if they make money on their projects. It doesn't make my life is not changed if some piece of shit gets rich. It makes no difference to me. We're not living in the same house. I don't care. As long as my life is good and my friends are happy and all this kind of stuff, like, what do I care? If you don't compare yourself to everyone else, then it's a very freeing experience. right? Like, just free yourself of that. And then you also, yes, there's nothing more frustrating than undeserved reward, right? People that pull little mechanical tricks and scammy bullshit to exit on the back of dummies, it's an undeserved gain. It's an undeserved, unearned reward, unearned success. Sure, that kind of pisses you off if you're one of the people that does the work. See, that will go away. They won't be able to do that everywhere all the time. That's a little, very finite, very douchebaggy way to make money. It's a scummy car salesman way to make money. Versus having a game theoretical, really pragmatic approach to trading and investing and understanding your own cognitive biases, those statistical deviations from rational thought or judgment that we all have. It's going to make you a competent fiduciary forever, like forever. So I don't care if these dudes pull their little bullshit. And also, if new people in the market that are just here for the lulls, this whole YOLO crowd, oh, I'm in crypto now. I've been in crypto for 13 seconds. Some of them are going to experience ridiculous gains. You're going to see the article. You're not going to see the article for the 240,000 people that got melted for taking leverage because some asshole on Clubhouse gave him the can't fail system. Like, dummy, that guy's selling you a system because he's using you as his exit liquidity. People don't see it. They're like, I'm making them gains. I get the text. I made so much money on these fucking meme coins and all this. Like, you idiot. But what can you say? Let them gamble. Gambler's going to gamble. So this is just another example of very finite, very short-term thinking. It's very simple-minded, and you usually see the kind of people that do this are accountants. They are traders. They're not really theoretical. They're not thinkers. They're not critical thinkers. They're just little numbers people that don't mind an indictment here or there. Usually don't. They certainly, most of them don't live in the U.S. They would live outside the U.S. And they just do whatever. There's, bullshitters. Okay. Do you have some resource recommendations for education on game theory? Man, there's a lot of great game theory stuff out there. I would say Game Theory 101 on YouTube is great. What's that guy's name? Joseph something? But Tim Roughgarden does a bunch of really great videos. Now they're very heavy. It's like heavy stuff. But it's good, really good computer science and game theory kind of merged together. Plus he's over at Algorand now. That's another reason I can't understand why Algorand sucks so bad. They got so many good players over there. Just their marketing people are stupid. Algorand is a good project. They don't satisfy the 5 T's though. That's the problem. In an alternate universe, probably Kufi Saliba is one of the co-founders of Algorand. He and Silvio were in quite close proximity. I'll leave it at that. All right. Let's see. At least we retail customers can at least see it. Math, yeah. And we can take advantage of it a little bit. You see a pump like this going, and you're like, it's bull crap, right? Like that's what bull crap looks like. This is, if you were looking at the diagram, this is the normal trading behavior, and this is what we call bullshit. It's a technical term. If we go to the 30 days, we'll notice the bullshit is bigger. And the 7-day, it's an extreme amount of bullshit. In the 24-hour, we're at the tail end of the bullshit. And we have fallen into a trough of reality. The reality that they ran out of money and no one likes this company. And I guarantee you, there was some asshole over at Cogito that was like, yes, finally people get it. And then someone was like tapped on their shoulder like, no, that's not what this is. Hush now, hush, stupid. Boy, I tell you what, if any of those, if anybody wants to do some sleuthing, if you found out that any of the executives sold against that, that would be dirty. But they're not smart enough to. That's the good news. They're too stupid to have taken advantage. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of crap like that. I actually look down on those. I get approached to do those kind of bullshitty things all the time, and I'm just like, fuck you guys. You guys are such narrow-minded ass thinkers. That's usually what you get when people don't. They really can't, kind of read human behavior, and they just don't have any tools in the tool shed. So for them, it's like, well, let's just go rob a bank. Why rob a bank? In crypto, you can be a bank. Anyway, okay. Howard asks, Nick, don't we get a group of DI members to pitch in and pay your developer coders to build the ultimate what? No, we're honestly, we're really good at building tools, but we wouldn't be like building pyramids. That really is going to take, because there's a lot of attack vectors there. And I know why no one wants to do it. No one wants to do it because I don't think they think they can get really rich doing it. Otherwise, there'd be an omnibus wallet we'd all use. It's just really frustrating. Yeah. Yeah, it's just really frustrating. It's just, I think that's something outside of the complexity, that out of our wheelhouse, I think. It'd be great if we could, but that's kind of, bigger teams can need to do that. Can you tell me where to get info on hyperpools? No, buddy, you need to go to the, that's going to be something, guys, hypercycle questions, that's for hypercycle chat groups. So no, I cannot. Okay. Let me get down here and see. I'm watching the Tim Roughguard. Oh yeah, it's the greatest. It's difficult. You got to usually catch him a couple of times. What I would do, for those of you that Tim Roughguard's great, by the way, and he was at Stanford, and he was at Columbia, and he's great. So he has a whole series on auctions. There's a lot of game theory in auctions, a lot, and it's very interesting how they kind of move through the second chance auctions and victory auctions and all this kind of stuff. So I think that's definitely worthy of watching, but all of his stuff is worthy. It's just, you can only get through like 1 or 2 videos at a time because it is so dense. Also, if you're doing other stuff, you're not going to get it. You have to be present for Tim's dissertations. They're good. All right. Oh, the British voice of authority. I think you're correct, sir. Okay. Just a quick look at markets, kind of selling off a little bit. I got a couple of notations that Bitcoin had hit 73, but you know how it is, up, down, up, down. The fact that we held 70 is quite compelling. Ethereum right around 4,000, good for Ethereum. Good for Ethereum as an investment. Everything else is kind of quiet. I mean, we've had so many up days. I had thought this weekend was going to go down, down, down and reset a little bit. People would take something off the table, but not much. Other than the spammy little douchebag coins. Oh, surprise, surprise. NewNet gave up 12% of last week's, it would have been 48, 49%. And you would ask, and it would be a good question, well, why? Why would such an asset go up so much? And why would it come down so much? But we've already flogged that dolphin, have we not? This doesn't make sense. I mean, it does. 147%. Get off the gas. NewNet. Has NewNet done anything new? No. NewNet, new, no. In. I like that. 3 N's of NewNet. New? No. Now? No. Never? Maybe. Rejuve. Their new motto should be, well, we launched a token, no one cared. So now we're selling equity, and no one cares. Oh, what a bullshitty proverbial second bite at the apple. But then again, and you can also separate this, the token from the company. Is Rejuve a good company? Yes, it's a good company doing really cool things. But the token is bullshit. It's not necessary. NewNet, cool company, doing cool things. Token, bullshit. Cogito. Sophia. cool company doing cool things. Token, we don't know yet. We don't know for sure if it's necessary or not, if it makes sense. I don't think so. I don't think you need the token. Couldn't they just use AGIX? Couldn't Raju use AGIX? Couldn't NewNet use AGIX? These are all Ethereum placeholder tokens. So what's the difference? They don't have a native token like Hypercycle. They're not processing transactions. There's no reason for a NewNet token. There's no reason for a Raju token. There's no reason for a Sophia token. There's no reason for Cogito, period. The company or the token, period. Singularity DAO, if we're being honest. There's no reason for the token. No reason at all. Just don't need it. And I could go down the list, and there's a lot of them. So be careful. In a bull market, sometimes we make flawed decisions because numbers go up. And numbers go up. It's much harder to trade and invest during a bull market. It just is. And you're going to look back with a kind of interesting sadness at this bull market, because I promise everyone's going to say, oh man, I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have. No. That's all cognitive bias. You should have done exactly what you did, because that's what you did. The only decisions you can lament or regret are the ones that you did not make. Okay? If you sat on something and didn't make a decision, if you skipped one of your exits, trying to gamble, trying to YOLO, oh, I got to catch up. There's no catching up. It's like time on a racetrack. I blew a tire in the first lap. Then you lose. Just get out there and get some good laps in. You're not going to win. There's no scenario where you win. But you make the best of a bad situation. Nobody here, without gambling, is likely to catch up. I'm not going to catch these billionaires. It is what it is. I'm too late in the game. I'm 2 years late in crypto. That's probably 100x multiplier. If I was 2 years earlier, I'd probably be 100x better. But I'm not. Just got to make the best with what you got. Would we be wrong to treat Sophia as a trade? I think Sophia is a trade. I don't think it's an investment. I don't think there's any thesis. There's not, I don't think there's a coherent thesis that this is a lifelong position or that this is a long-term position. This is a trade. Now, it could be a good trade. It could be a really good trade, because these metaverse game things usually have one good, sustained, crazy run, and then they shit the bed. And I think we get that. I think we get that in the summer. So if you see this thing start to really rock and roll, just remember, well, don't remember nothing. Do whatever you want to do. I'm going to be hitting the exit. Okay. If it works with a mysterious, well, sentience is part of the whole Sophia thing. It's basically a hack job version of MetaMask that's been having some problems, technically, as far as I understand. Whatever. Supposed to have been rolled out a long time ago. Supposed to have been rolled out in January. Why wasn't it? Well, I got to check my wallet. Yeah. Sounds like a lot of backpedaling there, Bruce. Anyway, yeah. So crypto ain't easy, I suppose. Even things that seem easy just ain't easy. Have you changed your mind about Sophia coming out with this? No. I think there's going to be cool stuff, but utility? Oh, what? What utility? It's a game. It's a metaverse play. Cool. There's gonna be all these different versions of Sophia. We get to do data mining for her and him and they and all. Okay, so what? Oh well, it's gonna be learning and doing tasks, and there's NFTs. Okay, so what? Like, did anybody wake up today and said, man, if I could just go do some fucking NFT peddling and play with Sophia, man, my life would be just demonstrably better. No. Crypto's not making my coffee taste any better until crypto makes your coffee taste better, or you get served faster, or literally anything is better, then crypto has not done anything. And then you work your way down the risk curve and you find yourself at Sophia. Sophia's definitely not improved life. None of these assets, none, even my favorite, yet. Now, I do have high hopes for things like Hypercycle, which have some very interesting fundamental software kind of revelations cooked in. Things that people are not necessarily paying attention to right now. That is not the current use case. Another use case, several of the use cases, which I'm sure we'll talk about when this weekend, Toofy's here in town. So that's gonna be a lot of fun for the investor weekend. But there's all sorts of stuff going on underneath the surface, which makes me quite excited. That it could be one of a small handful of assets that do actually materially change something in the real world, in the atom space for humans. But right now, it's only Bitcoin. Everything else is a huge gamble. So just be cognizant of that. All right. Isn't Sophia making the robot? Well, Sophia is a robot. Sophia is already a robot. I got pictures of Grace. I was with Grace like a month ago. Anyway, doesn't matter. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Don't do anything my poor insolvent, strung out on methamphetamines, grandmama would not do. And I urge you, I bid you, a good day to you. A good day to you. On the morrow, Governor, on the morrow.